Hey everybody, Tracy Brown here. And this is gonna be a shorter video. Sometimes I say that and sometimes that's not true. But for the most part, my plan is to be short and hopefully sweet today and get you thinking about some other reasons why you might not be feeling so good. I'm making this video because I remember there was a time where any single time I feel tired or I wouldn't have a lot of energy or whatever it is, I would blame the food. Like, oh, I think I ate too much sugar, I didn't eat enough protein, or whatever. And that was definitely in my diet mindset kind of days, where I would elevate the food so much as this super, hi April, thanks for joining, this highly elevated thing that was the thing that was gonna like either fix all my problems. And so I want to give you a couple things that we actually, when we're in the diet mindset and everything is so elevated to be either really good or really bad, and there's no in between, there's no supportive eating, there's no inner listening, there's just, just all or nothing. And that's what the diet mentality sets up. The diet mentality sets up one overarching theme, which is fear. Fear that if you don't do the right thing, you're going to be sick, you're not going to feel well, you're going to be a weight that you can't like, or that you can't be happy with, or that you just can't be happy, or you can't be healthy, or the opposite. It's like you do the right thing, you'll get the right results. If you do the wrong thing, get the right results, it's your fault, you're bad, you suck. That's pretty much it. And life is so much more nuanced than that. So if you're not feeling good in your body, here are a couple things I want you to think about. It may not be that you're eating quote unquote the wrong thing. Actually, are you eating enough? Are you waiting too long in between meals? Are you pushing off your meals? Are you trying to skimp on all the rest of the day, and then no wonder you're not focused and you're kind of anxious all day because you're saving quote unquote your calories for dinner or that dinner out. What's your water intake look like? Now I'm just doing the physical stuff that we can have some sense over some say over. Now, if we're not, the way I look at eating is that we're working towards even broader than intuitive eating. I'm looking towards helping you all be supportive eaters. And in my mind, supportive eating means at this very moment when you're considering eating, is what you're going to eat supportive mentally, physically, emotionally, even spiritually. Meaning, sometimes you don't have a strong craving for anything and you've got cake with you or you've got fruit salad with you. If you don't have a strong preference, maybe you choose a fruit salad or maybe you choose the cake, whatever. But if you have a really strong preference for either or, that you honor that. Supportive eating would be you're at a birthday party and it's not going to be very healthy mentally or emotionally if you don't eat the cake when you really want the cake and all you're doing is obsessing about the cake, and you're disconnecting yourselves from people because you're trying to stay away from the food that you believe that you shouldn't be eating. That's not healthy at all. There's no mental or emotional supportive eating there, and now your body's stressed out, and no matter what you eat, you might not feel good because your belly's churning with anxiety. So it won't matter too much. You're already in this anxious state of trying to get it right or avoiding doing it wrong. So, that's where if we can take ourselves, switch paradigms out of the diet mentality into a more supportive way of eating and look more globally at what is supportive and what you need to do to just eat as peacefully as possible, then you take yourself out of the game of getting something right or wrong, because there really isn't. There's just, what is your body's feedback? So, going back to the thing about not elevating food and our eating is just one of many, 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 many factors that is going to help us determine our energy level and our vitality. So I want you to think about other things like, how is your sleep? Do you actually get enough? And when you do sleep, how rested are you? Is your environment conducive to feeling rest? Are you feeling stressed out because maybe all or nothing with your situation, whether it's very cluttered or it's just so minimal and unappealing that you don't feel comfortable? How you eat, these things all matter. Like your situation. Now we don't have to get every situation perfect. We can do a lot of like the good enough eating and good enough situational eating. But if you're chronically feeling uncomfortable in your eating situation, we've got to change that. So movement is another thing. Like sometimes, our eating's just fine, or maybe it's whatever, but we're in so much, either too much movement or not enough, and our body just needs to kind of get some of the cobwebs out to feel a little better. So again, that's a place where if we can tune in and get rid of the shoulds and the shouldn'ts and how it should be about movement, we can find that even 1 minute, getting up from our desk, moving around, getting an outside sunshine break, take a bathroom vacation is enough to recharge a little bit of our vitality, and we stop blaming the food. We stop blaming lunch for making us sleepy. Maybe it's not lunch. And so those are just some of the things that we have some say over. Now the other stuff that I see is way more impactful in my own personal life and the lives of my clients is that we get weighed down with so much stored up emotion. So much stored up stuff that we don't even remember hardly happening, or that we do, and we're just really working very, 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 very hard to not notice, not feel, push down, repress, whatever. Honestly, that I see as the biggest vitality sucker of anything. And that's something that comes up in this intuitive eating process, is recognizing, oh my gosh, it's not that my getting perfect food is going to fix things and make me happier. It's like there's some things in my life that's got to change. And once we start to address that stuff, which is underneath all this all or nothing and perfectionism or worry about our food and getting it right, once we start to address some of those other things, our health can improve. So I want you to start to think about what in your life maybe isn't working. What is your level maybe of connection that either isn't working, or not just connection with ourselves, but connection with, maybe we're not getting enough or the right kind, or the people in our lives are just not a fit anymore, and we're just feeling scared to change that. So I want you all to be thinking about very broadly, what could be sucking your vitality, because too many people blame their food intake, when really what it is that we need to do is look at more of the big picture of what would make our lives a lot more satisfying. So I'm hoping this quick little video helps you if you're really oh my gosh, the food, it's why I feel so terrible. It might be a factor in that. But again, radically overhauling things that are so dramatic, and if you're working through this intuitive eating process, may be too much of a big deal. So take it slower. And I'll just share one last piece. I've worked with many, many people that maybe needed to make some food changes, but we had to do it at the pace that their systems could handle without triggering binging or back to the diet mentality. So it may be that a change for you to feel better is taking your magnesium supplement, or before we can even change your food to different kind of eating to maybe increase your vitality. So we got to take it at the pace that we can, we have a range of tolerance for, that's not going to get us back into that diet mentality, and eventually we will get there. We have to have compassion and patience for ourselves. So I hope this video was helpful, just to help you get more global, bigger picture about it, outside the diet mentality, to see what's actually really draining me, what's taking all my energy, why don't I feel good. It could be movement, it could be some food aspect, but when we get our eating a lot more stable, you'll find that you don't need to eat in as stringent a way as you thought you needed to feel better, and that there's other things that are actually drain your energy more than the way you're eating. So I'm hoping that this video was helpful. Please give me some comments below of your personal experiences, and I'd be happy to answer questions about. If you're seeing the replay, I'd love to help, so let me know. And I will talk to you all really soon, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. And in the meantime, take care and peaceful eating. Bye.